Project Stargate, 1978 to 1995. In the realm of government secrets, few projects are as bizarre and controversial as Project Stargate. Between 1978 and 1995, the United States government poured millions of dollars into a classified program that sought to harness the unexplored powers of the human mind, to use psychic abilities for intelligence gathering. But this was no Hollywood fantasy. Project Stargate was a real operation conducted under the strictest secrecy, and its goal was as unsettling as it was ambitious: to develop remote viewing as a tool for national security. Remote viewing, a term that sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, was the core of Project Stargate. It is the ability to perceive and gather information about distant or hidden objects, events, and locations without any physical interaction. In other words, the government was training individuals to see across vast distances, to peer into enemy installations, and even to uncover classified secrets, all by using their minds. The roots of Project Stargate trace back to the Cold War, when U.S. intelligence agencies discovered that the Soviet Union was investing heavily in psychic research. Fearing that the Soviets could gain a strategic advantage, the CIA and the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, authorized a program to explore whether the United States could develop its own psychic warriors. What began as a fringe experiment quickly escalated into a full-scale research initiative, with millions of dollars funneled into classified laboratories. The program was based at the Stanford Research Institute, SRI, in California, where scientists conducted rigorous experiments to test and refine the abilities of their remote viewers. Subjects were placed in isolated rooms and asked to describe hidden targets, from secret military installations to distant planets. The results, according to declassified documents, were nothing short of astonishing. Some remote viewers provided detailed descriptions of locations they had never seen, identifying landmarks, layouts, and even coded information with eerie accuracy. One of the most famous remote viewers was a man named Joseph McMoneagle, whose abilities defied conventional understanding. McMoneagle claimed to have seen inside Soviet military installations, described advanced technology, and even predicted future events with uncanny precision. His most astonishing claim? Describing a secret Soviet submarine base that had not yet been publicly identified, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the intelligence community. But Project Stargate wasn't confined to earthly targets. According to insiders, the remote viewers were tasked with exploring much more than enemy installations. They allegedly ventured beyond the limits of human experience, describing ancient structures on Mars, alien civilizations, and even glimpses of alternate dimensions. Some claimed to have viewed extraterrestrial bases hidden beneath the surface of the moon, while others reported encountering beings of non-human origin. These accounts were so extraordinary that they were quietly buried under layers of classification, never intended to see the light of day. Despite the extraordinary claims, Project Stargate was met with skepticism from the scientific community. Many dismissed it as pseudoscience, arguing that the results were nothing more than coincidence, imagination, or carefully manipulated data. But behind closed doors, high-ranking officials were captivated by the possibility that remote viewing could be weaponized as a tool for national defense. For nearly 2 decades, Project Stargate operated in the shadows, producing intelligence that was sometimes eerily accurate and other times wildly off the mark. The CIA, DIA, and NSA all had a vested interest in the program's success, believing that the potential benefits of harnessing psychic abilities outweighed the risks. But as the Cold War drew to a close and public scrutiny over government spending increased, Project Stargate's days were numbered. In 1995, after years of operation, Project Stargate was officially terminated. The CIA declassified a portion of the project's documents, acknowledging its existence but downplaying its significance. The official line was that remote viewing had produced inconsistent results and was no longer a reliable tool for intelligence gathering. But skeptics believe that this was just another smokescreen, that the real discoveries made during Project Stargate were far too sensitive to ever be disclosed to the public. The questions surrounding Project Stargate refuse to die. If remote viewing was truly ineffective, why did the government fund it for nearly 2 decades? What classified information was gathered during those years, and why were some of the most astonishing results buried under layers of secrecy? And perhaps the most chilling question of all, did the U.S. government unlock abilities in the human mind that go far beyond what we've been led to believe? To this day, Project Stargate remains a tantalizing enigma. The truth about what was really discovered may never be fully known. But one thing is certain. The U.S. government's exploration into the power of the human mind was far more real and far more dangerous than anyone ever imagined. And if the secrets uncovered by Project Stargate are still classified, then the world may still be unaware of the true potential that lies dormant within us all.